Hey everybody, this is Izzy here coming to you with another review from my cinema dojo, if you will. Today's review is based off of one of my favorite shows of all time, a show that was a family event here in the Ridley household. And it would come on, it was on the WB station, and I want to say it would come on every single Wednesday night at around 6 or 7 o'clock. It's a spin-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it is the show, and anyone who is familiar with it will know what I'm talking about. Anyone who's not, well, you're going to learn something today. It is Angel, the show about the vampire who was cursed with a soul and is attempting to right the wrongs of his past. As before he was cursed with a soul, he was known as one of the most murderous and vicious and evil vampires of his century, and he kills a gypsy, but the gypsies in retaliation, curse him with a soul, racking him with all kinds of guilt and remorse for his past murderous deeds. He shows that he's initially an ally of Buffy, and we learn more about him in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and his purpose and what happens when he experiences a true moment of happiness. He leaves the show, leaves Sunnydale to go to Los Angeles in order to continue his crusade for fighting for the helpless and to redeem himself. Also, Cordelia, played by Charisma Carpenter, who was also from Buffy, joins him. They're allied with a demon, half human, half demon, whatever you want to call him, Doyle, played by Glenn Quinn, the late great Glenn Quinn. And it's based, the first season is always the introduction of the characters and the themes, and what separated it from Buffy was the fact that it was a lot more darker, serious, and had more emotional moments. Not taking anything away from Buffy, but Angel definitely is more along the lines of what people, I feel, for me personally, is what I've always enjoyed, is the fact that the stories are darker and serious, and the character development is much more deeper compared to certain shows now. Angel has always ended on a cliffhanger as well. We're introduced to the major theme that is going to play a very centralized role in the rest of the season, in what is known as the Shanshu Prophecy. Shanshu Prophecy is Angel, who is supposed to be prophesied as this champion for all that is good and pure. And should he complete his task, he will be rewarded with the gift of humanity. The season ends on a very dark cliffhanger, where Angel is going to face another familiar foe from his past that is ultimately going to, I guess, if you want to describe it in this fashion, be the roadblock within his path to redemption. In this season as well, we're also brought Wesley is introduced into the Angel investigations. He is from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, played by Alexis Denisof. Season 2 is continual development of the Angel character and Wesley and Cordelia. We're beginning to see the cracks within Angel as far as his characteristics is concerned, the way he runs Angel investigations. Darla and Drusilla, hit fellow allied vampires from his past, who also were involved in a lot of evil deeds with him. They return, and with them continuing their battle against Wolfram and Hart, the demonic law division, Angel is slowly descending down the path of darkness again. And Cordelia and Wesley are not exactly sure how to combat it. Needless to say, they're introduced, a new character and cast members introduced to the show is Charles Gunn, played by J. August Richards. Towards the end of the season, they are transported to alternate demonic dimension, where two new cast members are introduced with and the great late Andy Hallett, who plays Lauren, the singing demon, then Winifred Burkle, who's played by Amy Acker. At the end of the season, there's another cliffhanger. That's one of the beautiful things about the show Angel. There is always a cliffhanger that leaves you anticipating the next season, even more so than usual. Season 3 is most likely one of my favorite seasons, actually. This is where things get really, really dark, and the character development is immaculate from beginning to end. Before I get into the details of this particular season, Alexis Denisof, who plays Wesley, goes through one of the greatest character transformations within this season. This season in particular, Joss Whedon, there's one episode titled Billy, where he brings forth a very, very harsh reality in terms of what certain people have experienced in their past or even their present. And it's a topic of misogyny and domestic abuse. One of the greatest episodes of all time, very emotional, very dark. However, this season is Angel continuing. There's this new prophecy that is detailing how Angel is going to descend a much darker path, and in this path he reverts back to his evil self, if you will, and he ends up murdering his son. And of course, with this season, you have Angel's son who makes an appearance. Major spoiler. I mean, the show came out in 1999, and of course, it ended in 2004. But this season in particular is when things really start to get dark and amazing. You can't go wrong with it. It's one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. I do recommend the show in general, but this is where things get really good. Season 4 is my favorite season of Angel, by far, hands down. Everything from beginning to end is absolutely perfect and immaculate. I could watch this season over and over and over again and never get tired of it. The character development, the acting, the atmosphere, the writing, the tone, the epic Gods Amongst Us, the storylines that is just infused with this direction. And this season is absolutely, man, I cannot sing this season enough praises. And we're also, this season, one of the reasons why this season is a favorite of mine is the continual character progression of Wesley. How we have seen Wesley emerge as, well, basically emerge from this clumsy, arrogant, shy, soft-spoken watcher from Buffy the Vampire Slayer to this ruthless, fearless, organized, brooding, rogue demon hunter. Just amazing. I love the character of Wesley. I love any character that relies more on the intellect, but at the same time is not afraid to get their hands dirty, but again, use their intellect more than physicality. We also have the return / introduction of Faith, who is helping them within their battle, who is also from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who helps them in their battle against the antagonist of the Beast. And, of course, not going to get into any spoilers, but it does involve Angel, and we see a familiar side of Angel returning this season, and that's when things get really good. Again, seriously, I know I sound repetitious. Best season for me personally, as far as Angel's concerned. Season 5 is when Angel takes over the demonic law division known as Wolfram and Hart, and we have Spike, who also from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who joins the cast as a series regular, played by James Marsters. And the show, this season, unfortunately, ended up being the last season of Angel as they canceled it. And probably one of the greatest disappointments for me as far as the show, because it ended on such an amazing cliffhanger that it could have at least had one more season. The storyline in general is continued on the comic book series known as Angel After the Fall. Season 5 is a great season in general. There's a lot of great episodes within it. Smile Time when Angels turn into a puppet. Then you have Lineage when Wesley's father returns, and that's a great and emotional episode. You have Destiny where Angel and Spike are fighting over who is the true champion of the Shanshu prophecy. Then you have a new character of Illyria making her appearance. Again, one of the coolest characters introduction in the series. Just an overall amazing show, an amazing series that was canceled far too soon. It had the greatest potential of being, if they had that 6th season, that number 6 season where it could have continued the After the Fall storyline, Angel, in my opinion, would have been up there from my perspective. And I know this is a bold statement, but it could have been up there with Breaking Bad as far as the greatest television series is concerned. The fact that it was canceled too soon is what I feel doesn't necessarily get it to that status just yet. Great show, but it just needed that one season that could have really propelled it into the stratosphere. But other than that, it is still a great show. I can't stress enough how much I love it. I do miss it. Before Supernatural, you had shows like Brimstone, and then of course Angel, which was still similar in theme. They were just a lot more darker in their presentation. And Angel, Joss Whedon is a creative genius. Anyone who's not familiar with Joss Whedon definitely needs to look up his work. whether it's for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, True Calling, The Dollhouse, the first two Avengers film, or even read his the Astonishing X-Men series. I mean, the man is a phenomenal creative genius who has given so much in terms of literary and entertainment purposes. Seriously, folks, do look up his work and watch his films and TV shows. You can't go wrong with it at all. Just an amazing, amazing creative force that deserves his praise. That is my review of Angel. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought about the show if you have watched it. And if you haven't watched it, I do recommend it. Provide a like or a comment on my YouTube and my Facebook. You will be hearing from me again soon. Probably tonight again, or maybe tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to have to look over my vault to see exactly what show or film I'm going to review next. But either way, I hope everyone's remaining safe in their quarantine and remaining healthy. And you'll be hearing from me again, my friends. Take care and peace out.